Don Westfall and Dan McCarger are back in downtown Mankato, where we have a Maverick win and a Maverick sweep to talk about. The Mavericks again last night 6-3. They won short of that tonight, but a 5-3 win for MSU, the sweep over Bemidji State. We talked about last night, Bemidji State, a much improved team as far as offensively, much faster team, but the Mavericks, got a nice 4 goals last night in the contest to get the 6-3 win, and tonight they get the first 3 goals of the contest, and certainly a big night for Teddy Bluger.
Teddy Bluger was just outstanding tonight, a couple power play goals, and then he chipped one in to give the Mavericks a 4-2 lead after it got within a 3-2 game, so he had a great weekend of hockey. The Mavericks had a great weekend of hockey. People are just not sweeping people in college hockey this year, so to get back-to-back wins on your home ice, it's a big time for the Mavericks. Now they've got a week off and a road trip coming up, but for now at least, it's a nice 4 points, and you feel good about yourself for the weekend. All
right, let's take a look at some of the highlights from tonight's contest. And as we mentioned, again, the Mavericks, 3 goals to get things going. A nice goal here by McClure off the draw, the winning
Marginary, just a great job. Then Bluger with his first of back-to-back power play goals, and then Bluger with his second of back-to-back power play. It was exactly the same. Just a couple of wristers, and then
Brewer scored late to make it 3-1, but then and then it was a 3-2 game.
McCormick makes it 3-2 right there.
Yep, and then all of a sudden, actually that was, I think, Gerbrant on that one, but then here's the goal, the hat trick, the third goal by Bluger, just stays with the play. That was late, that made it a 4-2 game late in the second, so we'd move with a 4-2 score into the third.
And then the empty net goal, shorthanded for Matt Leitner to make it 5-2, and that's the final. Except for, well, I wish it was the final.
Yeah, that was the goal there by Aarons with about 10 seconds left to go in the game. And that was the one Mike Hastings said he kind of felt bad about, because Williams deserved a better fate statistically tonight than that one. But in the end, again, the Mavericks, a 5-3 win.
38-32 in faceoffs, a nice night there. The 26-20 is a little bit, or 26-16 is a little bit bloated by a 10-minute misconduct on Brett Stern. Power play, Mavericks 2 for 5. According to us, 2 for 6 according to them. 33-22 shots on goal, and the Mavericks win 5-3.
The total of the power play goals was correct. There's maybe not so much as far as the number of power plays, but statistically we'll get that figured out. And in the end, the big statistic, again, 5-3 win for MSU. And if you're going to talk about player of the game, decision pretty easy tonight.
Yeah, Teddy Bluger clearly would be your player of the game. He's got 3 goals, back-to-back power play goals to stretch that lead from 1-0 to 2-0 and 3-0. And so Teddy Bluger clearly your player of the game tonight.
Indeed. Again, we thank JBL Real Estate Group for our Player of the Game award. You can contact Jason Beal, and Jason Beal up on the top of the screen. You can see the number. JBL Real Estate Group does the little things that make the big difference. And one of the easier calls, even if they would have asked us tonight, I think we'd have been unanimous in that choice. So the hat trick, 2 consecutive weekends with hat tricks. Mavericks last weekend, Bryce Gervais. And you just kind of get the sense that this team, certainly with things going pretty well on the specialty teams, you're getting some guys with consistent scoring. Williams seems to have settled in right now, and I imagine we'll see him in the nets now for a little bit while. And I think the biggest thing really for MSU right now, they've had the big push since the beginning of the year. Now they get a weekend off before they go on the road for 2. If we look at the standings, certainly Michigan Tech right now leading the conference, and you have Lake Superior State. So not only are just the teams tough, but those are some long road trips for MSU.
They're long road trips. They're important road trips, and you want to go on the road, and obviously you want to win every game, but if you can go on the road and pick up a victory each weekend, you've done your job. You take care of the home ice, go 50% on the road, and you're going to win this conference.
In front of a little over 3,800 people tonight. Again, the Mavericks are with the win, but before we close out our broadcast, let's take a look at some of those out-of-town scores.
Northern Michigan shutting out Fair State. Fair scored 1 goal all weekend long. They've got 1 conference win. Michigan Tech over Anchorage 3-1. Bowling Green, Alaska getting underway. UMD beats St. Cloud 3-1. Huntsville shouts out Air Force 3-0. We told you that Huntsville team is coming around in North Dakota, taking care of Wisconsin. I don't know what has happened to Wisconsin, but they are bad.
Well, lots of talk down there, I'm sure, with the Badgers and Mike Eves and all the future. Thankfully, we're here in Mankato, and we're feeling pretty good about ourselves right now. That's right.
This is a good team that's very soon going to be in the top 10 in the country.
They're 13th right now. We'll have to see what the rankings are when they come out early next week. And again, our next broadcast for you, the Mavericks off next weekend, then at Michigan Tech and at Lake Superior State. So we're back on the air December 5th and 6th as the Nanooks from Fairbanks and the University of Alaska come down. Mavericks by that time could be well established in the top 10, and all of a sudden they're going to be one of those teams certainly that is going to be well established. Mavericks could put some big gaps right now between themselves and other teams before we get back here in early December.
And the other teams that you thought were going to be very good, if they start piling up the losses the way Ferris State has, for example, those are losses that you can't gain back anywhere late in the year. They have to make a serious run. So Mavericks starting to get a little bit of gap on some of the teams that you expect to be good in this conference, and you like where we're sitting right now.
We're sitting near the top, and we're sitting on the team with a sweep this weekend. Again, the Mavericks tonight, a 5-3 win over Bemidji State. For Dan McCarger and myself, Don Westfall, and the rest of the students from Bethany Lutheran College, we thank you for watching, and we will come back. We'll see you in about a month. December 5th, it's the Nanooks and the Mavericks from downtown Mankato.